and welcome back to Montana. Today's project, I am going to try to dehydrate cherries. I buy a case of Flathead Lake cherries almost every year. There's a local lady that has a connection up there, and so she's able to get her hands on a lot of cases. So it's awesome, but there's no way that we can eat all of these fresh. And so this year I want to try to dehydrate them. Those of you who don't know me, my name's Cece. My husband Kirk and I homestead in the big beautiful state of Montana. And this is a great job to have your kids help you out. I do not have a cherry pitter. But I remember when I was a kid, my mom would get these glass bottles. This is some root beer that we had for lunch. And we're gonna take a cherry and sit it right here on top. And then I have these skewers, and we're just gonna take the end and pop it through. And it takes a little bit to get used to it. But then the seed will come just, well, that one popped in half. Okay, maybe this isn't gonna work out quite as great as I thought. But you take it and then you can just pop the seed right in. So let me try another one. All right. Bingo. So the key is put the stem side down. And there we are. It is empty in there. And so this will definitely take a while. That's why it's great if you have kiddos. That can help you. And there we go. So we have 4 of the glass jars. And so that'll work out great. We all have one that we can work on. And yeah, the seeds are just falling in there. I know some people will probably say, well, you're losing, quite a bit of cherry in there. And that could be true. I may try cutting one in half and then just pulling the seed out because I'm gonna cut them in half anyways. But this is a great way that kiddos can help without having to worry about cutting fingers and all the things. So then once all the seeds are through, I am gonna go ahead and cut the cherries in half because they will probably take quite a while to dehydrate. So I'm hoping to put them in the dehydrator overnight, but I'll show you that process when we get there. I've also read that you can do something to try to help prevent the skins from turning brown as they're dehydrating. I'm not too worried about that. I don't really care. These are very, very dark cherries, so it's gonna be really hard to tell whether they turn brown or not. And they'll taste great regardless of what their color is, right? Okay, I am taking some of them and cutting them in half just to see if it's less like waste. And you need a pretty decent thumbnail to do this. And in all honesty, you're not saving that much more when you cut it in half with a knife. So I mean, you can do this too. But it doesn't seem like I'm saving anymore. There's still a decent chunk left with the seed. However, we are noticing the smaller cherries are a little harder to put on the bottle top. And so, I don't know, it's kind of whichever way works best for you, but either way, it is going to be a very sticky, messy kind of a day. Okay, cherry pitter is now on my wish list. That got the job done, but I think I only got 5 trays done. My back is starting to get sore. I have have quite a bit of cherries left over, and I flat out ran out of time. It is now time to get, you know, dinner started and dishes, and I've got a whole nother list of things that I need to get done this evening. So we are gonna continue to eat the cherries fresh. I'll probably put them in like a gallon Ziploc sack or something like that, so they're a lot easier to get to. And then the kids told me that my mom freezes them whole and they love to eat them whole as a snack. So once I'm starting to realize, hey, these are starting to, you know, need something done with, or they're gonna go bad, then I'll probably throw a bunch of them in the freezer and we'll just see where we're at from there. But hopefully we like this. And if we do, I'm not gonna sit here and pop them individually. I'm gonna definitely need a pitter. So we'll see how it goes. The kids ended up helping for just a little bit, and then they were like, we don't wanna do this anymore. And I was like, go ahead, it's fine. But Mama's tired, Mama's done. Put them in the dehydrator. I have them at about 135, and I have it set for 12 hours. That puts them off at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. I will probably check them as soon as I get downstairs tomorrow and see what they're looking like. They said they could take all the way up to 36 hours, so we'll check them in the morning. Okay, the dehydrator went off at like 5 a.m. this morning, and so by the time I got down around 7 o'clock this morning or so, I checked them. I didn't like how they looked, so I popped them back in for 6 hours, and those 6 hours are up, so let's take a look. Okay, I turned it back on again. They're still pretty sticky and wet. They're not very rubbery yet. The one was really tiny, and I ate that, and that felt done, but a lot of them are bigger, and it's still very sticky. Not done yet. There's still quite a bit of juice in there. So I set it for another 6 hours. Okay, 24 hours later, and they are finally done. So I put them in for 12 hours, didn't like them. Put them in for 6 hours, didn't like it. Put it in for another 6 hours, and then we liked them. So they're definitely more like a raisin consistency. They taste different than what I had expected. It's probably because I had freeze-dried cherries before, and I thought they were gonna kind of taste like that, but they don't. But the kids seem to like them, so that's a success. I am glad I didn't do more than about 5 trays. So I'm probably gonna go ahead, either put these in a Ziploc and throw them in the freezer, or put them in a little small jar and put them on the pantry shelf. Probably a Ziploc in either the refrigerator or the freezer, just to make sure that they last longer. But yeah, dehydrating cherries. It was really funny. I was posting on social media the day that I was doing it, and my older sister saw it, and she's like, Cece, I bought you a cherry picker, or pitter. So I guess I don't even have to put it on my wish list. It's already coming my way. So anyways, hope you guys have a great one today, and we'll catch you next week. That's all it was. I think it was more 4 trays, not 5.